Ndeba ekene munu asukwa mkechiri yazelo. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It depends the time you are joining us today at Eastern News 24. I see Megachuko Kabia Mapurimi in negotiation mo Biafra. Na mikbazo Biafra ya belidi. Anamazi nani kanige wolo wea. Ise. Alright, diko sinaga na ya bapu ni oso ni fai welo. Yapu ozidi oke mponu jalenu. Genti. Ofuma. Bitasianti gike. Ịmara ihe ọbụla ị na-eme lapụ ya gee ntị. Ịma na o nwere okwu m chọrọ ikwu bifo ngosi na ya bụ audio ka unu gee ya. O nwere okwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye ndu Biafra, bụ onye ndu, bụ nwa Chineke kwuru, gwara ụmụ Igbo mana afọ anụrụ ya. Gee ntị. Akwa IG kịta adogo Peter Obi aka na ntị, warn ya for any collaborators against a plot to ime Buhari, to stop Buhari inauguration on May 29. Gekwe ntị ọfụma ka ị nụ ife IG kwuru. Dọrọ aka na ntị. Nke akwa IG of police dọrọ aka na ntị wee na-ekwu because ịmụrụ kịta anụwa na wọchị ya, o nwere ife ndị a ji ya eme. Ndị a da-eme ife lọọ kwuru na ife sarafa ka a na-eme. Ife nna chịkọwara ụmụ Igbo. Law bụ scam n'ebe ndị anụ. In fact, law ewere isi n'ebe ndị anụ. Okay, ka alapụgodo ya na the other way around. Just ka I go the argument, as in the ka tụwarịgodo the thing. Okay, case ya kịta na akwa ndị obedient agbago akwa na court. Akwa court elulube the case karakwa na court o. IG decide go ihe ọ ga-eme. So that means the judiciary of this country bụ just a waste. Si na Ford kwa park with ihe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-ekwu na adọ aka na ntị because ọ bụ na ndị anụ stand of oge appeal court nyere Maazị Nnamdi Kanu discharge Maazị Nnamdi Kanu acquitted and for the release si release onye ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na nwere ife o mere. Ọ bụ na ndị politician na stand kwechiri n'ihe appeal court lụrụ this thing kita ama na-eme mana onye ọbụla dụsara alụ na ọgbasara ya and IG kita ife ọ pịara kịta woto maka ndị gasị na ada anụkwa ife fụkwa ụzọ kịta. Ọka mma na unu bịa ndị obedient unu ajoin ya Maazị Simon Ekpa Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ka liberate ya na wife to exit from Nigeria than ịgbara along the bush. Ka nkwụsị ya bụ ife ebe a. Gee ya bụ audio clip then ị ga-esi ya. Leave us with your own comment on the comment section below. All right. Over to you.
Order. Following the successful conclusion of the 2023 general elections, it has been observed that some major political actors that the outcome did not favor have been issuing public threats that are directed at instigating actions to frustrate the presidential inauguration ceremony on the 29th of May. The Nigeria Police and the National Intelligence Community have been closely monitoring the activities of these political elites as well as other elements who have formed themselves into unpatriotic brands whose only fantasy in recent times and undemocratic means to truncate our democratic heritage in advancement of their narrow personal political considerations. The beauty of democracy lies not just in the freedom of citizens to freely exercise their franchise within the electoral cycle. It is also hinged on the right of aggrieved political actors to submit grievances on the electoral outcome to the judicial process for consideration. The credentials of a true Democrat must therefore be measured by his or her level of patriotism and willingness to manifest the culture of submitting to rule of law, peace, democratic values, and the judicial process. These are integral and critical components of the political process. It is also expected that a true Democrat will subsume his or her personal political ambition under overriding national security and democratic interests of the country. Unfortunately, the public utterances of some political actors and their current attempts at inciting public protest with a view to creating national tension ahead of the presidential swearing-in ceremony do not only negate these values, but they are also manifestly subversive, undemocratic, unconstitutional. Having submitted their political grievances to the judicial process, it remains concerning that some of the political gladiators are still bent on engaging other extrajudicial means to advance their interests in a manner that questions their overall intention as well as patriotic and democratic regions which they project. Ladies and gentlemen, the imperative of peace in our national life cannot be overemphasized. Sustenance of peace and security is even more expedient at this stage in our national democratic transition. Consequently, while the Nigeria police, in synergy with other security agencies and the intelligence community, continues to closely monitor the activities of these political elements, it has become expedient to make some clear statements. Firstly, the Nigeria police hereby sternly warn all political actors with subversive agenda and their collaborators, to particularly their foot soldiers, who they are exposing to political radicalization and extremism, to henceforth jettison their ongoing premeditated attempt to create tension within the national space with the intention to derail the May 29, 2023 presidential inauguration ceremony. Secondly, such persons, regardless of their political affiliation, who continuously engages in acts that are inimical to our nation's democratic and security interests, should not be in doubt on the firm determination of the Nigeria police under my watch to closely collaborate with the law enforcement family and the intelligence community to defend our democracy, keep the internal security order stable, and optimally deploy our common unique assets towards guaranteeing the successful conduct of the presidential inauguration ceremony. Thirdly, we note that the inauguration ceremonies at all the national and state levels of government are a critical constitutional requirement for the sustenance of our political order as a nation, and the Nigeria police is duty and legally bound to defend our democratic heritage and closely police the constitutional processes. Consequently, I assure the citizens that our loyalty to our democratic and political order remains firm and unwavering. We will defend our democracy at all cost. The 29th May 2023 date for the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is tasked optimally and manifestly. Anybody that stands in the way will be identified, promptly isolated, and brought to deserve justice in the overriding interests of our national security and stable political order. Consequently, citizens are encouraged to be mindful of the antics of political elements who may want to manipulate their political passion to advance parochial, undemocratic, and unconstitutional objectives. They should resist such, go about their lawful businesses, and prepare to be part of the government advancement of our democratic journey as patriotic citizens by freely participating in the inauguration ceremonies, assured that Nigerian police have acquired adequate assets to guarantee their protection. They are also encouraged to promptly report any attempt by these misguided political elements to infiltrate their ranks and engender political tension in the country for appropriate law enforcement response. The international community is similarly encouraged not to be swayed by the ill-informed action of unpatriotic political actors who may be creating false and direct flag through the social media. They are assured that our democracy remains firmly on course, the country's security order remains suitable, and the presidential inauguration will hold as scheduled under a very peaceful atmosphere. On a conclusive note, I wish to particularly appeal to the media practitioners to also be swayed of the intents of these political gladiators and resist the urge to deploy their credible media outlets to advance their destabilization plots. Nigeria remains our national heritage, and working together, we should continue to advance and place her interests over and above parochial, personal, or group interests. I thank you all for attendance and pray.
Ndị be daalụ nne akwụna gị ife a na-ekwu ọ ka mma otu a ife a si eme ka ndị Igbo na-amara ebe fa nọ maka ọ bụ na onye ndu adọrọ fa aka na ntị fa ya aghọta ife na-eme, ọ ka mma otu o si eme, maka ya bụ ife na-abazi fa alụ, maka ndị na-ekwe ha na-ekwetezi. Ị na-aghọta ihe na-ekwu? Ndị na-ekwelọ na-emezi gịnị? Na-ekwetezi. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu gwara fa agwa mana fa anụlọ. Alright, thank you once again for joining us, and also stay tuned at Eastern News 24. More news updates is coming. Daalụ ụmụnne m, ka emesịanụ.